Okay guys, this is going to be how to survive a round of Hunt Showdown as a solo. Um, just full disclaimer, my KD is not super high. I haven't been playing this for a long time. Um, I don't have like a huge win ratio, but I think I have found a formula to help new people have a better chance of getting out alive, and hopefully with a bounty. That's really the goal, right? The first thing that I do is, of course, you go to your first clue immediately. Oh, rip. Um, it's easy XP. You can kill some grunts on the way. You can kill some grunts after you get the first clue. Basically, it just you don't have anything better to do for the first maybe minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe even longer in the round. So why not get XP, right? So I always get my first clue. Try to kill some of the grunts that are around it. Here I was testing my melee button on my mouse. I had changed, decided I didn't like that as much, so I ended up changing it back. But so I get my first clue, and then I will typically start heading towards my second clue and hope for gunfire, which you hear right there. If it's any kind of prolonged gunfire, not just a single shot or two or even three, but like prolonged, like someone might be fighting, I'll typically push that, which I know as a solo that seems kind of counterintuitive, but I think you stand a much better chance if you try to like third party someone. You try to come up to a group or even another solo maybe that has already been in a fight. Maybe they've used a lot of their meds, or maybe they're still medding, or maybe there's like two people left and you can sit and watch them fight and then kill the last guy. If you're a PvP monster in this game, then this style is probably not going to be for you. If you have a lot of experience in this game, this video is probably not for you. Like I said, I basically made this video because if I play with my friends or if I play with my son, we were getting wins fairly easily. But then if I would come in as a solo, I noticed that I had some serious problems getting bounties and living. But that's because you can't play the same way as a solo unless you're really good as you do with partners. With partners, you can afford sometimes to be out in the open more. Sometimes you can afford to miss more shots or play slightly more aggressive. With this, I know I said push gunshots, but you want to push gunshots to the point to where you're not getting in the middle of the fight. You want to get in on the tail end of the fight. This is actually something I've learned from other games. If any of you guys play Apex, you know that getting third party can be the worst. You're in a fight, you barely survive a fight, or if you don't like barely survive, even if you do really well and you're looting, and then a third party rolls up right at the end of a different fight where you basically have to fight two parties, maybe not at the same time, but back to back, and that makes it very tough to win. And I think you need to be that third party, especially as a solo. You could probably use this strategy, of course, if you have a partner, or if you guys are a trio. But I think that as a solo, unless you're just really good at Hunt Showdown, like you have a lot of experience, which I don't, I think this is a pretty good strategy. So I heard the gunfire right here. You can see I'm trying to figure out where it is specifically. I can see some people in the distance moving around, but you don't want to just start shooting. You want to make sure your first shot counts. I've been in many situations where my first shot didn't count. I whiffed the shot and then I had to improvise from there. But typically, you want to shoot when you know you're going to get a kill or do some serious damage, something like that. Hopefully they're out of meds, or they're already hurt, or they haven't been able to use their meds yet. You can see right here, push, but I can hear that dog, and I did not want to have to fight that dog over to my right. right before I pushed into this fight. So I tried to stay crouched. That's another thing. You want to stay low, stay crouched. Keep moving. Don't sit out in the open too much. If you are out in the open, you need to be moving a lot so they don't headshot you, because in Hunt Showdown, a headshot's a kill. So make sure you're doing that. See, they're still fighting. This is great. I'm right up on them. I can see their muzzle flashes. Someone died. Right there is the perfect time if you can get someone. See. Alright, that's one down, plus however many have already died. Never go and loot immediately. You always wait. You have plenty of time in Hunt Showdown. I can't remember exactly how long the matches are, like 50 minutes or 45 minutes, or don't remember. You have a lot of time. Okay, so I almost pushed too early here too, but all that gunfire kind of got me a little anxious, so I wasn't thinking as clearly as I should have been. So we have 2 dead bodies there, but we know there's more than that, because there was a lot more shooting than just one person versus one person, right? Make sure you you loot the hunters before you leave the scene of a fight. Okay, so I know there's an immolator up there. He probably hasn't been around that area. Another player, I mean, hasn't been around that area. Apologize for the way voice sounds. I'm a little congested. So I'm not hearing any footsteps. It really doesn't sound like there's much else going, but surely there has to be one more guy, right? So I noticed a body over there. I'm gonna go ahead and loot that. I was actually staying way too still while I was looting there. I should have been moving around a lot more. If you play other first-person shooters, so maybe like Apex, you know that you should stay mobile. You don't want someone to just get that easy shot on you when you're standing still. So now I hear other gunfire, right? I've got some experience. There are a couple of hunters that are dead. The thing about it being a solo is I'm not good enough at Hunt Showdown to go up and try to kill the bounty creatures, but I don't know how you want to call it, the bounty monsters or the bounty creatures, by myself and still watch my back. I've seen streamers do it pretty easy. I've seen people on YouTube do it pretty easy, but where I am right now in this game, I just don't trust myself to both fight for the bounty and be able to watch my own back. Because good players, you're going to third party. They're going to hear the gunshots. And even if you do your best not to be loud, you don't shoot, you use maybe a sledgehammer or the axe versus the bounty monsters, people are eventually going to come up on you because the clues are going to lead them to you. Okay, so I see the next 2 bounties going that way. Don't want to get chased by these things all the way there. I was also out of stamina. Which, I guess that brings me to another bit of advice. If you're new, those stamina shots, I think they last something like 10 minutes. So if you have a stamina shot and you're in a point to where maybe you think your damage is only going to last for 10 minutes or less, go ahead and use it. They're pretty cheap. There's no reason not to use your stamina shots. Also, be more quiet than I am right here. That was not a good example of being sneaky. Okay, I see on my map, those guys are exfilling, or they're leaving in the north. I will never catch those guys. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I can get them because the spider is just now getting banished. So I have time to at least push towards them. And then I realize that, actually I don't even think I realize it. I think that they ended up getting away before I got there, which it'll tell you on your screen. Yeah, see that? So now I have to journey back to where that is being banished. Right there, I was hoping that as they were leaving, I could maybe kill one of them. Both would be preferable, but kill one of them right before they left, and grab the bounty and skip out. But it didn't happen like that. And of course, you get chased by dogs. Right here, you'll see me stop because I wasn't 100% sure how far dogs could push you as far as like getting through fences or things like that. Apparently they can't go over a fence, even a short one. Speaking of running away from something, immolators also can't go over fences. They can break down doors eventually if they keep hitting it. But if you melee an immolator with something that's a blunt object, not your knife or a bayonet, but like you melee with the butt of your gun, they won't immolate or like burst into flames, which is super loud. So you can blunt melee them to death, but you should have full stamina because they will take a lot of hits. Alright, so still banishing, that's good. 47 minutes left. Maybe there's a full hour in around, I'm not really sure. Like I said, this is definitely meant for new players. What you don't want is this one goes. Sorry, what you don't want is to you don't want to approach them in the wide open. If they're vanishing, then you want to have cover. And if they've already picked up the bounties, you definitely want to have cover because they can see you. They have 5 seconds of dark sight that they can see nearby hunters. So I'm hoping that I'm far enough away that they either can't see me or I'm far enough away that I can move around and they'll use their dark sight trying to track me. They're throwing a flare, so it's kind of hard to see down there. See, I'm standing still. That's a no-no. Don't do that. I'm not saying everything that I'm doing in here is correct. As a matter of fact, if you see some mistakes, please let me know. If you see some or if you know some tactics that you would use to help new people, leave it down in the comments below. I'm always willing to change up how I play or listen to advice. I think that's how you get better. You should never think that you know the perfect way to do really anything, right? Okay, so this guy's like, he's not at the greatest angle for me to shoot him, and he has dark sight. He probably has dark sight left. So I'm trying to move around a lot, so he has to constantly use his dark sight and burn through it. See, I'm standing way too still, but I'm hoping that the trees are blocking the second guy from being able to see me. I can use his dark side a little bit, hopefully. Set to flare. I'm not sure how exactly the flares work. If you want to leave that in a comment below, I'd love to know. Okay, so like I said, keep moving. There are definitely two of them, so they have basically 10 seconds of dark sight, 5 per person, and I'm trying to make them burn through all of that. I don't want to have to fight them at medium or close range and them still have dark sight. So if I'm moving around a lot and they're trying to see where I'm at, I'm hoping that they're using that up. It's another reason I keep taking the shots too. I mean, I'm hoping to hit, but even if I don't, it still causes them to hopefully use the some of their 5 seconds of that dark side up. That was a close one. For me, I don't know how close I got to him, but I almost was killed right there. So it's time to move somewhere else. I would say also, if you're going to circle around, circle a little bit, maybe shoot. Pretty good shot. Circle around, wait in a spot, shoot, maybe circle back, and then circle back around again, so they're constantly burning through that that extra benefit of holding the bounty and being able to see you. Okay, so that guy is dead. I didn't know where the second guy was. I actually thought the second guy was probably initially I thought he was probably in that tower, but I see that he's like moving left. See, so I thought he was coming around the other side of this building. Well, he played a little tricky on me. I honestly think this guy could have killed me, because he's right there. I just don't think he saw me in time. Either that or he wanted to kill me by burning me. Right here, this guy probably should have jumped down and tried to push, but he might have also still been wounded. I probably should have tracked that other door, the one that's to my left, if I had planned on coming out this door, but I didn't know which way I wanted to go out, so I didn't want to run over my own trap. Just looking for a hole in the ceiling, but despite the fact that there was light coming through, there was no hole in the ceiling. I can tell by the way he's running back and forth, he can't hear my footsteps while I'm crouched currently. That was it. That was the last guy alive on the map. I didn't encounter anyone after that. I'd say it's a solo. Make sure to hit your shots. As far as how to hit your shots, yes, I know I've missed a ton of shots here as well. But my advice for hitting shots is stay calm. Don't try to don't get in a panic. There's no one even left on the map, on the server, whatever you want to call it. But don't get in a panic. Make sure you hit your shots, and you should be good. Use a combination of stealth and pushing. You want to push when other people are fighting. You want to be stealth when you don't hear anyone else, because as a solo, you just have to assume you're going to be outnumbered every single fight. So unless you're a PvP monster, I probably would use stealth when it's quiet, and I would push fights when you hear other fights. Also, don't get discouraged. Like I said, I'm fairly new to this game. If ooh, I almost ran into a bear trap. If you start getting discouraged, just remember that if you're a solo, the odds are stacked against you. If you're new, just remember you're new to the game, and there are people on here that have prestiged, 10 times, 20 times, whatever it is. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and turn the alerts on. I'm going to stop audio recording here and let the rest of the video play out, but basically I make it to the exit point, and the rest of it is fairly uneventful. If you'd like to watch the rest, I think I kill a few more grunts, and that was it. So also, if you see anything that you would do different, or if you are a veteran player of this game, I'd love to know. I'm always looking to learn new strategies, new things. Like I said, I'm pretty new. This is just a strategy that I've learned that works pretty well. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys.
Ugh.